Subscribe to our YouTube, Club 520. We clowning on that mother.
Just hit the button.
God.
Don't ask more questions.
Subscribe.
We hate the Jordan and Bron debate, but I just want to ask you, like, what separates them on the court to you?
What separates them on the court to me
make you give Bron the push?
What separates them on the court to me is, I think, number one, Bron's intention to make people better. The guys that LeBron has made better. Like, did you see them play without him?
Yeah, facts.
Like, come on. But he was
an all-star with Bron.
About Boobie Gibson.
Exactly.
His household name.
And he was intentional about making those guys better.
No.
MJ made guys better just because of how good he was.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, I think this way, so I'm going to do this to get this guy this. No, you just so good that then that guy can get off of how good you are.
Yeah.
And I think that's a different thing. I also think a 2-year break in the middle of a crazy run is like, that's heaven on earth. To have 2 years off from this thing that we do in the middle of a run and then come back and keep, like, bro, like, you can't act like he just went 6 in a row. Like,
But he went to go play baseball,
He laughed and came back in a crazy sport.
I love baseball. I'm a big Yankee fan, but they body ain't going. They play a lot of games.
Yeah.
They body not going through.
Draymond, you
All
gotta
right, but imagine you take 2 years off and you don't pick up a ball. And you start doing something else trying to be good at that. You start playing pickleball and you like, fuck it, I'm going to go all in on pickleball.
I agree. By the way, I ain't
you
Michael
still
Jordan.
the best in the world. But you still the best in the world, bro.
When you come back,
But I mean, I want to be like Mike. That's Michael Jordan. However, MJ crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think he ever put the basketball down. Like, in my opinion, I just don't think so.
I don't believe that either.
He's
I do.
crazy like that.
I
Like,
think he went all in on baseball to try to be good.
After
how
watching Last
competitive
Dance, I don't believe that he didn't pick
No,
up
because
basketball.
how competitive he is, to Jeff's point, he wanted to be so good at that he locked in. He
Yeah.
was so good at basketball, I can come back and
I
do
think
this.
he
Them
did.
niggas can't fuck with me.
I think he did, but I think he quickly realized, I'm not as good at this thing as this. Let me pick this ball back up.
Yeah, I mean, after a while, he probably was like, yeah.
You kind of weak at basketball.
Yeah.
You look like me at Michigan State football, MJ. baseball.
That's a great. I got a question for that
Them
too.
Giannis Antetokounmpo highlights of you at Michigan State on the football field.
Crazy.
I swear to God, how they clipped you up on YouTube?
And they killed me.
Oh,
It was crazy.
with the music?
The music make it work. The soundtrack make it work.
They do the Detroit music.
That's a great. Oh, we gonna keep talking about the MJ stuff, but when we get to that, I got a great question for you.
You want to know what the best thing about being a sports fan is? There's only 2 days in the entire year that we don't have any games in any sport.
So with all that action in the sports world, that just makes about every day game day at DraftKings Sportsbook.
If you're new to DraftKings, listen up. You can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets instantly.
All you got to do is download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code CLUB520.
That's code Club520 for new customers. All you got to do is bet $5 for $150 in bonus bets.
Only on DraftKings Sportsbook.
The crown is yours. We talked last All-Star, finishing out the season. I would say probably more of an emotional season for a lot of things going on. How was that mentally, you know what I'm saying? Obviously knowing what took place, some of the things that could have took place. How was it just getting through the rest of the season?
Honestly, it was fun to play again. And it felt like a weight was off my shoulders for the rest of the year, except for when something went wrong. When something went wrong, like for instance, when I got ejected in Orlando, like 2 minutes into the game, whatever it was, 3 minutes into the game.
We had bought your Black Forces that day. That was the day.
I went on ahead and laced him for you.
He beat Rasheed Wallace's record. we had a group text, no lie, bro. They was like, yeah, get the Forces money, bro. This guy sent it to him.
So when I got kicked out of that game, like, I hadn't had a tech since I've been back. And so then I get kicked out of that game and everybody like, yo, look, he haven't learned anything. Number one, let's stop the he haven't learned anything like I'm a fucking dummy. Like I'm not dumb. He hasn't learned anything, blah, blah, blah. Also, like, I play basketball. Like, stop acting like I'm, like, sticking somebody up. I play basketball.
Yeah.
But it was the whole, like, he haven't learned anything. He's this, he's that, he's a problem. Look at Steph. Steph's emotional. And Steph told me after the game, like, yo, I need you out there. Like, like, whatever it is, I just need you out there. Steve came to me after the game and was like, yo, you good? I'm like, yeah. He's like, great. I'm not about to make I'm not about to make a bunch out of this. Like you getting kicked out of that game. You're gonna get kicked out sometimes. By the way, I need you to get kicked out sometimes. I need you to be who you are. No, we can't make a thing out of it, but I just want you to know you've been absolutely incredible since you've been back. You just got kicked out of that game. We got to bounce back tomorrow. I'm like, no problem, coach. I appreciate it. And so the roller coaster kind of ended once I got back, except for when something like that happened. But I was so happy to play basketball again and just like be around the guys again, like compete at a high level, and most importantly, kill the narrative. Because the only when you go through something like I was going through last year, the only way out of it is actually to play well. Like if like you can apologize as much as you want, you can do as many podcasts. Until you play well, people don't move on. And so my goal coming back was like, yo, I just got to come back and play well, and we got to win. And when I came back, we was winning games. I was playing well, and it kind of all went away. But if we wasn't winning, like soon as we started losing, like, oh, it's his fault. Like, man, stop. Like,
That's crazy.
Like so I it was one of the most trying seasons I've ever been through, for sure. But I do feel like it also provided the most growth for me in a season than I've ever had. Like it required and forced me to grow in a way that when you winning, you don't have to. Because nobody cares. Like you winning.
Yeah.
Like so it is what it is. Like when you winning and that happen, it's like, look, that's the heart of a champion. They winning. All of a sudden you're not winning and now you're an idiot and you're uncontrollable and you shouldn't be here. And so it forced me to grow because we wasn't winning, and I had to understand that when you're not winning, the things that you get away with when you winning ain't the same.